I wish I could say this is one of those wild stories people just make up for the internet. But no, this really happened. The HOA in my neighborhood actually tried to steal my backyard pool, my private fenced-in pool that I paid for, maintain and use, especially for my little brother Eli, who honestly needs that pool. Like some people need a morning coffee, you know what I mean? No community vote, no official permission, just this smug woman with a clipboard. Belinda, president of the Briar Ridge HOA, showing up one Saturday morning with this chirpy big news, Mason. Your pool's been designated the venue for our VIP spring social next Saturday. And if you're picturing a friendly neighbor bringing over cookies, forget it. She just barged right through the side gate, didn't knock, didn't even say good morning. Just the click-clack of heels on the concrete, and suddenly she's waving paperwork in my face like it's a police warrant. And Eli, poor kid, he's out there on the pool steps trying to decompress because crowds and noise mess with his nerves, and the pool has always been his safe spot. So when I realized what was happening, well, let's just say my blood pressure hit the roof. I pointed at the sign Eli painted himself, private property, no trespassing. He even drew a little sunflower to soften the vibe. Belinda looked at it like it was dog poop on her shoes, waved her clipboard around, and told me, community events take priority. Mason, see here. She actually flipped to a document typed up with a bunch of legalese that she'd clearly written herself, claiming the HOA could just designate prime community spaces for the neighborhood's benefit. Like seriously. I locked eyes with her and said, Belinda, this is my backyard. I pay taxes. You don't just declare my pool a community property because you want to throw a party. The fake smile dropped off her face so fast I swear you could hear the thunk. Don't be difficult, she hissed. There are consequences for obstructing sanctioned HOA functions. Yeah, that's what she said, like she was casting a spell. But I wasn't about to let her intimidate me. I just told her, you need to leave. Now. And she stomped off, but not before giving me that look, the one that says she's not done. Now, this isn't my first run-in with her. She only got elected because nobody else wanted the job. Used to be the HOA just made sure lawns weren't jungles and organized the occasional cookout, but as soon as Belinda got the gavel, everything changed. She fined our neighbor for having 2 whimsical wind chimes. She told old Mr. Ramirez his porch chairs didn't reflect the community aesthetic. Me. My first offense was having a mailbox that wasn't the exact shade of beige she wanted. She actually typed up a letter, included the specific Pantone code, and taped it to my door. I stood there reading it, thinking this cannot be my life. But Eli, who panics over the smallest things, begged me to just paint the box so we wouldn't get in trouble. So I did, and Belinda came by with a color swatch, checked it, nodded once, and left. That's her style. Absolute control, zero warmth. But this pool stunt, that was a whole new level. Monday morning after the Saturday showdown, we found a notice taped to the front door, not mailed. Mind you, just slapped right there with blue painter's tape. Eli brought it in like he'd found a live grenade. 2 full pages official reservation confirmation for our pool, listing the date guest list, and even specifying that the HOA would use our restroom facilities. That did it for me. I called the regional HOA management company because there's always some office supposedly above the local dictators, but all I got was Brenda, who couldn't have cared less. Local discretion, she said flatly. Dispute it at the next board meeting, which was, of course, in 3 weeks. The party in 5 days. In 5 years. So I had to think quick. I went out to the shed and dug out the submersible pump I bought for emergencies. Never thought it'd be for an emergency like this, but here we were. I decided if Belinda wanted to throw a party, she could do it somewhere else, because this pool was about to be closed for urgent owner-initiated repairs. Tuesday morning, I drafted a very official-looking letter, pool closed for repairs. Area off-limits until further notice. I handed it to Janine, Belinda's loyal crony, who walks her poodle every morning like she's on patrol. She sniffed at the letter and kept walking. That day I set up the pump and started draining the pool slow and steady so I couldn't be accused of causing any damage. And the sound of the water roaring into the drain was honestly the best thing I'd heard in weeks. Eli wandered out in his pajamas, rubbed his eyes, and asked, "You're really doing this?" "Yep," I said, sipping my coffee, health and safety first. Come Wednesday, Belinda's flyers started popping up everywhere, full color, Glossy Willow Creek's premier aquatic soiree with a retouched photo of our pool. It looked like a resort. That's when I found out, thanks to my neighbor Hank, who can't mind his business, but is useful for gossip, that Belinda was actually selling VIP tickets, advertising deluxe catering and exclusive access. She was making money off my property without even asking, turning my backyard into her personal cash machine. Saturday came. It was a perfect sunny afternoon and my pool was bone dry. I put up a big sign at the gate: pool closed, owner repairs in progress, no trespassing. Around 1:55, the SUVs started rolling up, guests in sunglasses and party dresses, looking for champagne and Instagram backdrops, only to find a sad, empty pool and me leaning on the fence with my arms crossed. That's when Belinda showed up in full queen bee mode, hair perfect, clipboard in hand, until she saw the sign in the dry concrete where the water should be. She charged over, absolutely livid. "This is vandalism. You drained HOA property. I'm calling the police," and I just shrugged because I knew I was in the right. Sure enough, she dialed 911, practically shrieking that I'd sabotaged a community event. When the police showed up, Officer Miller and his partner, I calmly handed over my property deed and a copy of the HOA charter. Miller, who's got the patience of a monk, read it over and then turned to Belinda. "Ma'am, this pool's on private property. The HOA can't override deed ownership. If you sold tickets, that's your problem." Belinda tried to bluster, but one of the guests, a local attorney, cut her off. "Wait, are you telling me you charged us for an event you had no right to throw?" That was the moment everything turned. Guests started demanding refunds and Belinda just stood there, clipboard drooping, face red, totally speechless. The fallout was quick. By Monday, Belinda's resignation was posted on the HOA board. Janine quit too. The new committee's just regular folks, quiet, reasonable, the kind who just want trimmed lawns and less drama. Eli's back to sketching by the pool, even drew a cartoon of Belinda clinging to a float as the water drains away. It's framed in the hallway now. And you know what? Sometimes the best victory is the quietest one, like looking out at a drained pool and knowing you stood up for your home, your peace, your family. So tell me, was I out of line for draining the pool, or should I have let the party happen and fought it out later? Ever dealt with a power-hungry HOA or neighbor? I really want to hear your stories. Drop a comment below because trust me, I'm reading every single one. And hey, if you ever feel like your peace is under siege, just remember a submersible pump and a little backbone can go a long, long way.